Guys, welcome back. Capo J here. Thanks for stopping by. I kind of wanted to talk about rotating handguns and whether or not you do it and what are the reasons for it. So I laid out a few examples here of whenever I do choose to rotate an EDC gun. These are my choices and I'll give you the reasons why. It seems to be there's probably two schools of thought. One is when a person finds a good carry gun, a good EDC, they stick with it, they carry it for years, they run it and they run it hard, they train and practice with it as much as possible until the finish wears off. And for those kind of guys, I have a lot of respect, because when you train and practice on a handgun that much, honestly, as corny as it sounds, it probably becomes one with the guy who's operating it. But as far as where I'm concerned, I tend to kind of flop back and forth between a few choices here, which I've laid out before you. I'll give you the reasons why, and if you feel to, you can leave down in the comments any questions or comments on why you go through a rotation maybe similar to this. Over the past year, maybe about a year and a half or so, I've been carrying the Sig P320. I've taken two pistol classes with it, and I've shot thousands of rounds through it. And overall, out of all the handguns that I own, this one's probably my favorite. I shoot the best with it, a little bit more accurate. It's got a great trigger, and of course I changed the sights to it. But this gun has treated me very well, and to this day it's probably my favorite handgun that I ever owned. Having said that, I do kind of like to mix it up a little bit, and I do like to rotate through my handguns. For example, for, I don't know, maybe 7-8 months, I also carried this Smith & Wesson M&P Shield as a backup gun, and pretty much stopped doing it not too long ago because I was kind of having hip issues, and carrying this on the left side as a backup gun just seemed to not be working for me. So, however, I will carry this gun occasionally whenever it comes to, if I have to be in a location that is where guns and concealed carry is heavily restricted. But as again, we all know, there's a difference between not being able to carry a gun and not being allowed to. So if if the goal for me is to go for, I guess, deep concealment, where the one and only time I don't want to risk printing or having my gun show off, I'll go ahead and carry this shield. But another, I guess, example would be if you go swimming, or if you go out to the beach or something and you need to hide something small, I will carry this. Another example probably would be this 357 revolver I carry. Now, I don't carry this too often, but if I know I'm going out to the farm, if I know I'm going outside to shoot, and I feel like putting rounds through the revolver, I will carry this Ruger 357. But that's kind of rare. A lot of times I'll just pack it along in some sort of range bag or a go bag with me and bring it. But I have been known to carry this because it is a sweet shooter. That brings me to the final thing. This Vickers Tactical Glock 19. This poor thing hasn't been shot hardly at all, at least by me. Myself, I've only probably put 1,000 rounds through it total, but I did allow a fellow student of mine to carry this in my recent fighting pistol class. And he ran it through the first day, so he probably put about 500 or 600 rounds through it. And at the time, I bought this Vickers Glock maybe a month or two after getting my Sig P320. So obviously, since I pretty much fell in love with the Sig, I never really carried this gun, and really never shot it that much either. But recently I've kind of, I don't know if it's a good valid reason or a valid excuse to change guns, but I find myself getting a little bored sometimes. And part of it, honestly, me wanting to switch over to this Glock is, I think part of it is a little bit of guilt, buyer's guilt. Not guilty, I don't feel guilty because I bought it. I feel guilty because I bought such a cool gun and I never really carry it, and I haven't shot it that much. So that's definitely going to change now that I've changed sights. My one knock and my one complaint against the Vickers Glock is that for most people, I think the sights, the Wilson combat sights that came on it, are perfectly adequate. They're good sights, they're good quality sights, don't get me wrong. But for me, someone who's going blind, I was just having one hell of a time picking up that front sight. So now that I've addressed that problem and put some different sights on the gun, I'm going to start carrying this for a while. So I'll probably do a separate video letting you know what sights I put on here, and we'll talk about the features of them and all that good stuff. But anyway, I'm curious what you guys think. Put down in the comments if you ever mix up or rotate your EDC guns and why you do it. Just wondering, maybe I'm the only person that does it, but I find myself doing it partially just based on the circumstance, or in the Glock's case, a little bit of guilt and boredom. So appreciate you watching. Don't be afraid to comment or ask questions down at the bottom of the video, and we'll see you around.